When I was a young lad, I loved watching the Colbert Report followed by The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. I loved those shows, and it is because of them that I wanted to have my own political comedy talk show, and here I am. Thank you. Unfortunately, both of these comedians have been taken by woke ideology and have become a disappointment, to say the least. A cringy disappointment. So in today's video, I want to show you some clips that demonstrate how woke ideology have taken a hold of both Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart. Then I will show you a glimpse into Hollywood's reaction to Florida's parental rights in education bill and why the bill is so important. Finally, if you make it to the end, I promise you a laugh. And that, my friends, gets the triple G's, the Gaston the Ginger guarantee. Did I just come up with that? Yes. Does it sound good? Yes. Will I use it in the video? Yes. When we have a lot of different clips to compare, we usually spend a lot of the video time on my Twitter. So, if you want to know what the video will be about, or take a look at some of my takes that don't make it onto the video, make sure to follow me on Twitter, Gaston the Ginger. Alright? Good. So let's begin with Jon Stewart. Now, this tweet by Myth-Informed MKE, one of the best follows on Twitter. And he says, Jon Stewart has gone full woke and is catering to the anti-racist activists that are perpetuating the same racist ideology that they claim to fight against. He applauds a white fragility rant and suggests Andrew Sullivan is a racist for not agreeing with the woke narrative. We're going to watch this clip, and keep in mind that Andrew Sullivan, the bad white guy, he's gay. So he should be in the intersectionality flag, but because he's not a racist and he doesn't agree with anti-racist ideology, he is an oppressor. Let's take a look.
I think the conversation is then this. We have an awful history. Its remnants are still
We
felt
also have
today.
a great history, John.
Say it again?
We also have a great history.
But I think you're minimizing it. You're suggesting that
I think
because
by
of...
calling
Yeah.
today white supremacy, you are minimizing actual white supremacy. You have an incredible...
Of course. By calling people like me, and I'm a Jew, by calling people like me Nazis, you're minimizing what a Nazi is. By calling regular white folk white supremacists because they don't buy into this woke ideology, you're minimizing what a white supremacist actually is. None of us like white supremacists, real white supremacists. But hey, I'm not a white supremacist, and neither is Andrew Sullivan. Let's keep watching.
Incredible diversity. To condemn all American
It's
history
not...
as racist...
I disagree that they're generalizing all white people. The systems that were racist that were put in place...
Systems.
Yes. The systems that were put in place.
I'd like you to explain exactly what they are.
Well, I thought I...
Well, you know, the system that put Barack Obama into office. Now, of course, I know he's going to go into redlining and all that, so let's watch this clip. But do you guys really think that this country is systematically racist? The least racist country in the world? Go to Asia, see how they treat you if you're black. Even if you're white, they're, oh my God, round eyes.
explained it earlier about the GI Bill and about the New Deal.
That's one thing. I want to know about these systems.
I just explained it. Housing.
That's
food.
one, and I've agreed that.
Andrew, you're not living on the same fucking planet we are. Honestly. I really don't think you are.
I think you are not living in the planet most Americans are, which is why this kind of extremism, this anti-white extremism, is losing popular support.
Do you hear how this left-wing audience claps whenever Jon Stewart says something and they're laughing at him now because he's mentioning anti-white racism? It's a real thing. Completely real thing.
Is creating a backlash, is going to elect Republicans and undo a lot of the good you think you're doing.
This is what happens when you don't talk about it. This is what happens when white people don't talk about it, is you have racist dog whistle tropes like this.
Keep in mind how she just interrupted him out of nowhere. She just started. He was taken aback. He's like, all right, let's see what this lady has to say.
That actually perpetuate and perpetuate and perpetuate. So I did not come on this show to sit here and argue with another white man. That's one of the reasons that we...
Another white man. Ooh. She'd argue with a black guy, I suppose, but not a white guy.
don't even engage with white men at race to dinner.
How is that not racist? We don't even engage with white men at Race to Dinner, which is her foundation. Well, you know what she does? You pay her money, she goes to have dinner with you and tell you how bad you are for being a white person. Complicit in all the white systems.
Because quite honestly, if white men were going to do something about racism, you had 400 years. You could have done it.
How dumb Jon Stewart is. Hey, do you guys know what the Civil War is? Where 300,000 Americans died fighting for the North, which was fighting to end slavery. Who are the slaves in America? Oh, the black guys? Oh. Sounds like white guys did something about it. Hey, wait a second. Who gave black guys the right to vote? Oh, white guys. When they realized their mistake. Looks like white guys did something about it.
So,
I am 58 years old.
I'm shutting you down right now.
I am not responsible for anyone before me.
I'm so tired of just engaging in this conversation and this deep hurt that Andrew has about talking about racism. And Chip, God bless you, but I'm going to put everybody in the thing. All of us white people do this. I don't care if we say we're abolitionists. I don't care if we say we're progressive. I don't care if we're literally members of the KKK. Every single white person upholds.
If you're a member of the KKK, you are the same as a progressive as long as both of you are white. It's the same. If you're white, you are a white supremacist. This lady, am I crazy? This lady's saying that all white people are the same as people in the KKK. She's nuts. She's out of her mind. She's a racist against her own race. She's a self-flaler. You know those people that are religious and start flailing themselves for sinning?
These systems and structures of white supremacy. And we have got to talk about it.
If I could finger snap, I would finger snap right now.
That's cultural appropriation, John. Or did Jerry make a joke that a black girl would do it?
Let's remove it and from the...
calling me a racist, John.
You've been doing a pretty good job with it yourself there. So, I think...
So Jon Stewart agrees. Andrew Sullivan is a racist because he's talking about anti-white racism because he doesn't think that the systematic systems of the United States are... Systematic systems, that doesn't make sense. The systematic structures are white supremacist. He doesn't believe that we should pay for the sins of our ancestors, and neither should I. Do you? Comment down below. Do you believe that you should pay for the sins of your ancestors? Then everybody should start paying up. Because everybody's ancestors has done horrible shit. Have they been victims? Yes, of course. But they have done horrible shit. That's why you and I are alive. Because our ancestors did horrible shit to stay alive. Anyhow, how about we get into Stephen Colbert? This one's about Peter Doocy, a Fox reporter, asking Joe Biden some questions that Stephen thought were stupid. Why? Well, let's check it out.
President Biden held a press conference, and he was asked a ridiculous question by a ridiculous man, Fox News reporter.
Ridiculous question by a ridiculous man. Okay, let's see.
And that one kid in high school who wears a suit to gym class, Peter Doocy. Jimmy, drop the deuce.
When you said a chemical weapon use by Russia would trigger a response in kind.
It will trigger a significant response.
What does that mean?
I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you that? You got to be silly.
Remember... Yes.
These liberal audiences clapping up are really getting to me.
Remember how on last night's show I said that slapping is never, ever the answer? I'd like to file a one-time exemption on behalf of the President of the United States. And... No.
Why are they clapping so much for that joke? Was that funny? Do you think that was funny? Let me know.
Lewis, let him know. Wrong. Doocy did not stop there.
The world wants to know?
The world wants to know a lot of things. I'm not telling them what the response would be. Then Russia knows the response. All right, I'm going to take two more questions.
Peter Doocy, Fox News. I've got two more questions. First, what are the exact locations of all of America's troops? And can you...
So this is why Stephen is such an idiot. What Peter Ducey is asking about is what Biden said about responding in kind if Putin deploys nuclear or chemical weapons. What Biden was getting at was deterrence. He's trying to deter Putin from using said weapons. In deterrence, it is crucial that your enemy knows that you will use force and exactly what force you will use. And the purpose of this is so they say, oh shit, if they're going to do that, I might as well behave. That is deterrence. That is what Peter Ducey is getting at. But Stephen Colbert, he just doesn't get it. So he's analogizing it to Biden giving the world the troops coordinations. Is it the same thing to you? Comment down below. I don't think so. So enough of this woke idiot. Let's move on to another woke idiot. Hollywood. Ron Perlman. If you guys have seen Hellboy, this is the actor. He's supposed to play some type of devil, badass, big macho man. But in reality, he's just a soybean. He's a big, snowflakey soybean. This is in regards to the Don't Say Gay bill. That's what the leftists are calling it. In reality, the bill that passed in Florida is the Parental Rights in Education bill, which just gives parents rights to know what's going on in the classroom and prohibits teachers and staff members from teaching kids between preschool and third grade about gender ideology. Do you want your kids learning about gender ideology and sex? Why? Why do they need to know that when they're 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Why? No reason. No reason. It's a perversion, a fetishization of our children. It's disgusting, must stop. But the leftists are framing it like it's an anti-gay bill. And that's why they're calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. And all of the mainstream media is going along with it. So idiots like Ron Perlman, who of course never read the bill, are making these videos. This is why I tweeted, someone didn't read the bill. The bill doesn't have the word gay, not once. I made a video, I think two or 3 weeks back, and I read you the bill. We searched gay on the bill. We couldn't find any. It doesn't say gay. It says nothing about gays, about saying gay. Well, let's take a listen to what this brilliant man has to say.
Good morning, Governor DeSantis. Ron here. Don't say gay. Don't say as the first 2 words in a sentence spoken by a political leader of a state in the United States of America. Don't say. Don't fucking say, you fucking Nazi pig. Say. First Amendment. Read about it. Then run for office. You piece of shit.
So a very likable guy, as you can see. Very likable guy. And he's saying, obviously he's never read the First Amendment. He's never read anything probably other than scripts. The First Amendment says, amongst other things, that Congress shall make no law infringing upon a person's right to, freedom of speech and other things. But here's the thing. The bill doesn't say anything about don't say. Nothing about gays. Nothing. So, I don't know what his point is, but he just looks like a fucking idiot. Read the bill, Ron, before you disrespect the better Ron DeSantis, our next president, and you'll see why. Well, here we are. So, Ron DeSantis has been getting a lot of flack because of the Don't Say Gay bill. Disney has come out. The video I'm doing tomorrow is coming out. Disney is insane. They're coming out against this bill, and they've gone insane. I'll give you a little preview into the video that I'm making. The president of Disney has come out and said that half of their characters have to be either gay, LGBT, or minority. It's nuts. Whatever. So let's see Governor DeSantis' reaction to all these woke corporations and mainstream media saying, oh my God, don't say gay bill. It's the Nazi Florida. It's the Nazi city. Let's take a listen. This man, he's like the best of Trump, but in an elegant man.
And so we will continue to recognize that in the state of Florida, parents have a fundamental role in the education, healthcare, and well-being of their children. We will not move from that. I don't care what corporate media outlets say. I don't care what Hollywood says. I don't care what big corporations say. Here I stand. I'm not backing down.
The next president of the United States. I'm not going to lie. I kind of don't want him to be president because I want him to stay in Florida. You know, give Trump 4 years and then give him 8. Sounds like a good deal to me. And you know what? You want to know one of the reasons why this bill came to be? Because these disgusting, perverse teachers were grabbing these kids, putting them into the LGBTQ clubs, and brainwashing them. They weren't telling their parents. They were transitioning them socially at school, switching their names and everything without parental consent. So check this out. Leaked documents show how teachers recruit students, form gay and transgender clubs in schools. Now, if you think this is crazy, how about you hear it from the mom herself?
In September of 2020, my daughter told me after school she had a meeting with school officials that was held behind closed doors where they asked her which restroom she wanted to use. I immediately contacted the school and was told by the guidance counselor and assistant principal that I could not be given any information regarding the meeting and that by law, my daughter had to be the one to authorize my notification of the meeting or attendance to the meeting. In other words, school officials asked my 13-year-old child her permission as to whether or not my parental rights would be honored.
How backwards is that? And you know why they're doing it? The same reason why Mao did it in the Maoist Chinese Revolution, Communist Revolution. They want to separate the kids from the family. They want the kids to hate the parents. They want to transition the kids so fucked up mentally, so one day she goes home and fights with the mother that she's transsexual. She said, I'm trans, I don't want to live here anymore. Eventually, child services will be called. She'll be removed from the household. This is where we're going.
After many weeks of going back and forth with the district, we learned the middle school had created a transgender, gender non-conforming support plan with our 13-year-old daughter without our knowledge or consent. The plan was a 6-page document completed with my daughter behind closed doors with 3 school officials that included the guidance counselor, the assistant principal, and a social worker I had never met. During the meeting, they asked her questions that could have significantly impacted her safety and her physical and emotional well-being, such as which restroom she preferred to use and which sex she preferred to room with on overnight field trips. The plan also directed school staff to use...
Can you imagine? Your 13-year-old daughter comes back pregnant from a school field trip because she identified as a boy, so she stayed with the boys, and the boys decided she wasn't the boy.
My daughter's birth name when speaking to us, her parents, and to use a different name in school with teachers, staff, and students. This plan directed school staff to conceal from us that this meeting and plan had ever taken place. When parents are excluded from critical decisions affecting their child's health and well-being at school, it sends the message to children that their parents' input and authority are no longer important. This created a huge wedge between our daughter and us because it sent the message that she needed to be protected from us, not by us.
Exactly what I was getting at. Exactly what I was getting at. The state wants her to be a child of the state, not a child of the parents. Disgraceful.
Social transition is a medical and mental health intervention that can lead to significant decisions that will impact the child's mental and physical well-being. Often, social transition is the first step toward medical transition, and schools are grossly unqualified to be taking these steps without parental involvement.
Parents in Florida, please, if your child goes through anything like this in Florida, contact me. I'm an attorney in the wonderful state of Florida, and I have a wonderful plan to take on schools that do things like this. And not just schools, individuals. We're going to go after the teachers. We're going to go after the staff members. I know what I'm doing. If you know anyone who's suffered because of this, contact me. Send me a message, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, any way you can. I got you. We're going to make this right. Now, I'm going to move on from this video. It's getting a little long, and I promised you a laugh. Okay? If you want to see the rest of this video, go to my Twitter. It's there. So here's the laugh I promised you. We all know that Will Smith bitch slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. And Babylon Bee published this, as covered by 14 different news outlets. And keep in mind, this is a satire, okay? Fox News, Oscars plagued by rise in black-on-black crime. Huffington Post, the patriarchal roots of slapping exposed. CNN, mostly peaceful Oscars, threatens to distract from January 6th commission. OAN, if they hadn't stolen the election from Trump, this would never have happened. Salon, white supremacy has gotten out of hand. Snopes fact-checked. False. Will did not slap Chris. Chris's cheek struck the palm of Will's hand. Vox, rethinking the slap. Why getting slapped is actually a good thing. These are the same idiots who published Inflation. Why it's actually a good thing. The Daily Wire. Will Smith destroys Chris Rock with this one simple gesture. Teen Vogue. Will Smith's totally hot slap and how you can use it on your genderqueer partner in the bedroom. Infowars. Alex Jones. Illuminati member stage fake slap to distract us all from implementation of the New World Order. Can't do the Alex Jones voice. Ugh. Vice. I slapped myself 100 times and smoked crack to better understand the black experience in America. The View. Fucking idiots at The View. Not the Bee. Check this out. Will Smith straight up pimp slaps woke comedian Chris Rock, reminding us how The Last Jedi truly sucked. And finally, the Babylon Bee. Will Smith is the Babylon Bee's Woman of the Year. Which, by the way, that got the Babylon Bee's editor-in-chief not permanently, but banned on Twitter until he deletes the tweet talking about Rachel Levine being Woman of the Year. But, you know, she's not a woman. Anyway, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your dog. You know, I know your dog's not gonna understand, but you cuddle with your dog while you watch it. And then, you know, the dog gets to cuddle with you, you get to cuddle with the dog, and I get the views. Win, win, win. Triple G's. Stone the Ginger, guaranteed. Thank you for watching.